There we go. All right, everybody, welcome back to part 2 of our Dudes Brunch Origin Stories episode. We have the usual guests here, Sean and Tyler, as well as our good friend from high school and dating further back than that for some of us, Kevin Vance.
Wait, you guys dated a little bit ago?
Yeah,
Yeah, fuck you, Sean. So we stopped in part 1 with getting into marching band, which means we could talk about marching band stories forever, but I think we all actually know exactly which marching band story we really want to talk about, which is the 4th of July, 2008. Sean, do you want to give us some setup on this, since we were at your house for most of it?
Let's see. My parents had gone away on the weekend. I don't remember where. I didn't go.
obviously.
Surprisingly. And basically I just said, hey, everybody come over. 'Cause that's what we did every weekend, so it wasn't like a big surprise that, like, if
But you had
somebody's
one
parents were
rule.
out of... What?
You had one rule. We had to bring our own food because we couldn't eat
Oh,
all your
yeah,
parents'
yeah,
food.
you have to bring your own food because I guess got tired of getting yelled at because I fed everybody all the time because I'm just too much of a mother like that, I guess. I don't know. I don't like to see people hungry. It's a real thing.
So I was there for 3 nights.
Yeah.
I think I was there one day before the 4th of July, and I remember that my mom gave me money to buy food, and that's when we got a whole tub of ice cream that Tony ate.
Yeah.
By himself.
Right. And like sub sandwiches at Walmart.
That was
Kevin,
the
were you there the whole weekend?
Yeah, I was there for like 4 solid days, man.
Yeah.
And Kevin and I were both lying to our parents to stay there that long.
Yeah, like I don't think they knew where the fuck I was at all. I mean, it was right after I started hanging out with you guys, and we would have like the weird like long weeks at Tyler's house where we would just walk around. Like my parents stopped noticing that I wasn't home. Like they were just, I was just like, yeah, it's a marching band, and they'd just be like, all right, and I just
Bye. Come home at some point, baby.
like I feel like maybe they thought the band camp lasted all summer because I just wasn't home fucking ever. Like I have no clothes to get me through the next 3 days. I feel like one of my friend's parents will let me use their washing machine.
Well, that's what I mean. That's why I thought it was so good at our house because you'd come over, like, if you wanted to take a shower, everybody did. If you wanted to eat, well, we just had to go get food. If you wanted to, like, we hung out all the time. I feel like we watched a lot of television and just ran around.
That's the part, though, because my parents would always ask when I came home eventually, so what'd you guys do? And I'd always be like, oh, we like watched TV and played video games. I wouldn't tell them that we, drove to Cincinnati Mills or went to a show at a dive bar or went out at 3 o'clock in the morning and wrote with Sharpie markers on stop signs. They didn't need to know those
Oh,
things.
God, we were so rebellious back then. Oh, look out.
Which is weird because when I tell those stories to kids that are in high school now, they're like, wow, we would never do that.
You're the neatest kids. No.
Well, let's talk about 4th of July specifically because I didn't know Sean that well. I think, Kevin, you probably knew him a little bit better.
Kinda. That was like the weekend that we all got crazy acquainted and became like best pals.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so my parents were like, whose house is this? And I was like, it's okay, he's an Eagle Scout, it's going to be fine. They were like, are his parents there? And I said,
Yes.
yeah,
Of course.
totally. So Tony picked me up in Slagathor, his broken down 90s Camaro.
You're welcome for that name, by the way.
Mm.
And we drove over to Sean's house. And I don't think Sean was even there when we got there.
No, I don't think so either. I think I just told you guys. I forget where I was at.
Oh, you and Kevin went to Chipotle, I think, is what happened. To get food.
Maybe we did.
Or something.
I know that Kevin and I were hanging out at that time. I just have, like, the only recollection of that whole weekend was, like, buying food, making, like, a whole 36 billion burgers on that little tiny grill, and then fireworks.
Dude, the fireworks.
Oh, yeah.
Well, you don't remember the news? Because
No.
one of the first things that happened when we got there is we were all just kind of standing around figuring out what to do. And you had the news on in the background. And they showed this news clip where a kid was babysitting.
Oh, I remember this. Yeah, Kevin remembers this now, too.
And
Bounce a baby or whatever it was.
yeah, and he put a baby on an inflatable pillow and jumped on it to launch the baby into the air. and then videotaped it and uploaded it to YouTube. And obviously he got arrested.
The up-and-coming video streaming service that wasn't the monolith it is today.
Yeah, you have to remember, dear listeners, that MySpace was still a thing at this point, so that's how old this is.
It was like
We were all just kind of standing around. All of a sudden, we're watching this baby fly through the air on the news, and we're like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
And so then Sean cooked a ton of burgers.
I think that was like a weekend that really needed to happen right then. Like it was just the perfect storm of things that needed to happen because I know that Tony was going through a rough time with Caroline. I was also like in the midst of a bad relationship that was definitely on its way out. You guys were new, so that was fun. Tyler, you were working, right, at Sonic at that time?
I think so. But I was there
No,
for
he was
like...
at Burger King at that point.
Oh, okay. You were at the lounge.
Either way, I was at some place that wasn't 4th of July with you guys. So.
And I remember, and Greg came over, and what was interesting about that whole story, this doesn't maybe have a big impact on you guys, but that was the only time that Greg's ever spent the night at somebody else's house.
In his whole life.
In his whole life.
Wow.
So.
Wow, man. I feel like I've spent more time at other people's houses than I have in my own house.
Yeah.
For like 3 or 4 years there. I don't think I ever spent a consecutive weekend at my house.
Ever.
Like one like 7-day period.
Because I was like, fuck being at home. I have other shit to go do.
Namely, sitting in someone else's basement.
Yeah, it's like not even shit to do. It's just shit to not do here. Like,
pretty much.
And that's kind of what we did that first night, I think. We watched that DVD of videos that had the How to Be a Man video on it.
Oh, yeah.
The takeaway line from which is, of course, what do men drink? They drink steak juice.
Like Jesus.
steak juice.
I don't think that video exists anymore. I really don't.
Shouldn't.
Women's.
Yeah,
So-
I think we pretty much just hung out that night and just watched dumb stuff and.
We ate those Mountain Dew flavored Doritos.
Ugh.
That were super gross.
So we did go to Walmart that night then.
We went to Walmart both nights.
Okay.
Because then the next morning we woke up and Judge Judy was on TV and people were fighting over a bucket of fried chicken.
Right.
I remember that.
It was just astounding that this was like the weirdest time.
And we woke up that morning and then you told us that you and Casey had a toga party in the blankets that we all slept on. I distinctly remember that.
I thought this was one of the topics we weren't going to talk about, but maybe I did because I was a jerk back then. Yeah.
Do you remember that time we were all swimming at Alexis's pool and Sean, you and Casey switched swimsuits?
Yeah.
Then you were just
I don't remember
there
that.
and I'm just like, I don't know what to do with my dick right now.
It's so weird that I'm like so much of a different person than I was then. It's just absolutely crazy.
So after we watched Judge Judy,
Can't believe I did
I
that.
think Greg left. Yeah, Greg
It's
left.
gonna be okay, Sean. It's gonna be alright, buddy.
It was just me, Kevin, Sean, and Tony, and we rated all of the fireworks that were in Sean's house, which meant, like 4 sparklers and an
Nothing.
M80?
Yeah.
Put it in a lunchbox, didn't we? Or a toolbox or something.
They came down in a toolbox from, like, his dad's closet or something.
We put them in a box and we like lit shit. I remember we closed the box and we just stood there and watched all this smoke bellow out of this box.
I remember
This
that,
stupid.
That's later, Sean.
there was that little M. It wasn't. I don't know what was it, like a firecracker. It was like a M something, but
Oh, yeah, yeah.
it was like
It
a
was the
tiny
M80.
little one,
Yeah.
and it wouldn't light. Like the fuse was really dead. And I was like trying to light it, and Tony comes up behind me and sprays lighter fluid all over it. And I was so mad. Like I turned around, I just started yelling at him. It's like,
And so then you tried again, and it wouldn't light.
no,
And
it was
Kevin
a
was like pissed off. He was like, "Fuck this!" And went over and tried to light it. Got mad, and threw the lighter fluid down on the fireworks. And now there's just like lighter fluid all over Sean's yard. Sean was mad.
What's the problem? Who cares? Just
I
solar
don't think
fluke.
we ever even got that thing to go off, did we?
No, because it was a dud.
But there was just lighter fluid everywhere, and we were really upset, so we went
I was
inside.
just so afraid that my neighbors were going to call my parents. Not that they would, because they didn't really care that much. But like, I was just like, don't ruin this.
Oh, but we didn't ruin it there because that was like the
Well,
sad
that was an
fireworks,
event
but-
that was like foreshadowing completely
Right.
what would happen hours later.
Right. So I think I left for the afternoon and went home and like took a shower. But
Because
then
eventually, everyone's parents were like, "Can you just like come home for 5 minutes?"
Pretty much.
Yeah.
I think at one point everybody, well, Kevin's didn't.
Right.
My
Well,
parents didn't. Tony's parents didn't
As
even
long as I
know.
said Mom, Tony, as long as like the words "I'll be with Tony" were in the sentence before I left the house, she'd be like, see you in 3 years." Like, and it was only because she knew Tony's mom in high school, which somehow by proxy made Tony like a good influence. I don't know.
which was not true in any way. So we came back, and that was when we decided to go to Walmart because we ran out of food.
Right. That's when we got the ice cream and the burgers. Because I said, we'll grill out, because I had a little grill. And I said, like, let's just grill out, and because they're really cheap, and we can make a ton of them. And
So
no
we
one will
bought-
say anything.
Yeah, we bought like a huge pack of burgers,
A tub of ice
a
cream.
gallon of ice cream, a foot-long party sub,
Yeah.
or
Doritos.
2 foot-long party sub, Doritos.
A bunch of Coke. Probably a huge amount of energy drink.
No, I remember we didn't buy any Coke. All we bought was orange Fanta
Oh.
because the only thing I
Classy.
drank that weekend is orange Fanta. Do you guys not remember that?
Mm-mm.
nope, wasn't there for that.
I have a pretty vague memory of orange soda in my past. Wow.
Anyway, so we bought all this food, but somewhere in that process, Tony ate Chipotle.
Yeah,
And
before
so-
we went, and he.
Yeah, and so we get back to Sean's house, and we're going to unpack all this food and start grilling. And all of a sudden, Tony just looks around and he's like, uh-oh. And he just holy shit. We didn't see him for like a half hour.
He was gone, dude.
I think
ended
we
up.
cooked and ate food before he came out of that bathroom.
I think we ate burgers for the next 2 days. That was like all we ate.
Yeah.
Just ate burgers.
Well, yeah, because Tony ate all the rest of the food after this next thing happened.
Right.
So we went over to Greg's.
Thankfully.
Sean, you were kind of at the center of what was happening at Greg's. I was trying to keep my distance.
I don't remember. See, my recollection of this weekend is like,
Dude,
well, not that good.
the
So
4th
there
of
were
July.
bottle rockets.
Well, yeah, no, that's because when I get bottle rockets in my hand, I like somehow I become like a 7-year-old because I just think it's so, I don't know, like I still think it is kind of fun. This is gonna sound really immature, but like to light bottle rockets and like hold them in your fingers and wait till they're just about to go off and then throw them up in the air so they could shoot like any random direction and then have everybody scatter away from them. Like I don't know why that's so funny to me. Because it's just a bottle rocket. Like, if it hits you in the back or something, it's not going to explode on you or anything. Well, I guess it could. Don't follow my lead, kids. Explicit rating is for this. Don't do that. But,
So of course we were doing that, and either you or Kevin, I think, threw one and it hit the house across the street. Who
it was
that?
probably both of us. It was probably everybody. I feel like the fireworks just kept going over there and hitting their house.
The neighborhood was fucking lit up that
Oh, yeah, no, you remember that. It was like they still do it. Like, years after when I've been down there, it's just like everyone is shooting off fireworks in that neighborhood. And, like, we were doing, like, little stuff at first. You know, like we just had the cans.
Those M80s and the sewer lights.
Right. We put like the hydro crackers inside of cans and throw them at people, and they'd explode and water would go everywhere. And you know, like I remember putting a bunch of hydro crackers and throwing them at Tony's feet, like 'cause they were going off and blowing up under him.
But then Greg brought out the mortars when we were almost done.
Right. That's because everything has to escalate. They can't not go somewhere that would like. Well, because the whole idea was it's pretty self-explanatory. That's just what kind of upsets me about this whole story is like, if you know how to read basic English, you know, like you can figure this thing out if you look at it and it's a tube and you drop the mortar down in there and I'd never done it until then, and Greg just handed me a lighter and said, go to town, and I was like, okay. So I was lighting him off, and then, I mean, to make a long story short, like, Tony comes over, and he's got this one in his hand, and he's looking at me, and I'm, like, looking up, watching things blow up in the sky. I'm not paying attention, and he's like, is this going in the right way? And I just said, oh, sure, whatever, sure. And
Oh, sure, yeah. Whatever,
next
sure.
thing I know, I look at Tony, and he's looking at me, and we're standing right over this thing, and he's going,
Run.
"Is it supposed to go up?" Which is pretty much exactly when...
That's when
It was
I
like-
just yelled shit
Right,
and
and
turned
then
around
I
and
was,
started running.
right, Tony and I were just like, oh, fuck, and like I didn't even get it out, and we were starting to run, and then I just sort of, boom, like it was like a spark, but you could see it was supposed to go up. It was like, shh, and then it was like, and just like blew out the whole tube. Embers are flying everywhere.
So the physics of this, for listeners, was that Tony put the mortar in the tube, but he put it in wick up, and so when he lit it, instead of shooting up in the air, it just shot down into the pavement of Greg's driveway.
No, dude, we were at Willowville Elementary.
That was a different time.
Yeah, that was the next year on 4th of July. Because
Tony had that mortar. Tony had that mortar in his car for like a whole year on his dashboard.
Oh, yeah. We got pulled over after my 16th birthday, and he had that mortar in his car, and the cop asked him if he had any drugs or firearms. And he goes, I have a firework in my glove box. Does that count? And the cop was like, no, that doesn't count. Like, what?
It's mayonnaise edition, man.
But basically, like, from what
So
Tim
this mortar goes
right,
off in the
it's like-
driveway.
it just blew up in his driveway, and we're all standing there. Embers are flying everywhere. Like, I got burnt. There's like a burn mark that goes across my face. Like, there's a burn mark that was down my arm. There's like embers laying all over my car. Embers all over Greg's car. Like, Tony shit himself.
It burnt holes in your shirt, didn't it, Kevin?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, I've still got the System of a Down shirt with little holes in it, like right.
Ah, what a glorious time in our lives.
It was
So this mortar
the
goes
dumbest
off,
thing.
and once the smoke clears, we all kind of regroup in the driveway and realize that nobody lost any limbs. But Tony was gone. And so Greg was like, where's Tony? And Greg's mom comes outside, or no, Greg's dad comes out, drunk, and just says, damn, that was loud. And so we walk inside, and Greg's mom is like, is everything okay? Tony just ran in here crying and locked himself in the bathroom.
No way, really?
Yeah, he did.
About that.
Oh, yeah. So I think we finally coaxed him out, and then we went down the street and watched an Elvis impersonator.
Mhm.
Is that a thing that happened?
Yeah.
That.
Then we all got back in the car and drove back to my house and fell asleep.
Well, we didn't. No, we didn't fall asleep because Tyler got there from work, and Tony ate the whole tub of ice cream by himself,
Mhm.
and most of the party sub.
I like how Taylor is like literally the archivist of this fucking story because we're
I
like,
don't know why
guess
I
that
remember this so well. I just do.
Dude,
But this is like my other favorite part of the story.
I feel like that weekend was kind of unique for all of us too, because that was like the first time that I think everybody got to sleep in a bed.
No,
You didn't sleep in a bed?
I slept on your couch.
Oh, I feel like nobody had to sleep on
that's
the
pretty
floor.
close. It's literally almost the same thing.
Okay, because I remember at some places we were sleeping on the floor, and
Okay.
like when you guys came over, I remember saying like, you guys can sleep in my brother's room or anywhere. We'll just change the sheets. Because
Well,
I
when we
got so
got-
tired of sleeping on the floor.
Yeah, but when we got back, we were eating food and talking about fireworks. And we started talking about like dumb things we could do with fireworks and
Oh,
things that
okay.
with fireworks.
I remember this now too. Okay, I forgot about this story.
Dude.
Kevin, you remember this? And Tony's like, "What if we took a bunch of gunpowder and put it
No,
inside
this
of
was
a?"
Kevin. It was Kevin's idea.
I've said that in
Oh, it was you.
and I was like, yes, like a grenade.
Hey.
So we have to tell the best part of it though. So we're all talking, and we're intentionally talking over Kevin because he was just, I don't know. We did that sometimes.
Dude, I used to just say stupid shit.
And so every like time Kevin would try to talk, we'd cut him off, and he'd just be like, dude. And finally we were just like, what? What the fuck do you want?
Resentment still harbored.
Do you remember what this contraption was that you dreamed
Yeah,
of?
we just took like a Coke bottle and we put just a hole in the lid and we just fed a wick down in it, and the bottle was full of gunpowder. That was the whole thing. That was
Who was it? Was it Greg? That was like, dude, you just made a grenade.
I think that was a tag team from it. I think from me and Ray. Yeah.
You were so proud of that idea too.
yeah, and I'll still do it one day, and you'll all see.
I feel like when we were all together like that, we did come up with some really good ideas. Like that's where I came up at Kevin's house. Actually, was when we came up with making memories.
Making memories, dude.
See, Kevin remembers that.
Dude.
Go ahead and tell them.
You know what? After I moved out of my parents' house, like a couple months later, my mom tried to transform my room. They have all these bookshelves and shit in there covering the walls, and it's because she's painted that room like 15 times, and they're still like just Sharpie marker just bleeds through, and I'm just like, you can't get me to fucking leave. I'll always be here for you.
That's right, because your mom said you can write all over your walls until we all went into your room and Sharpied all over everything.
Dude, my birthday party that she threw me there that year, like, ruined the walls of that. There was some shit on the walls, and then everyone that I knew came into my fucking room and was like, oh, this is so much fun. And it was just, that was collateral damage right there.
That was also when we convinced her that we let a snake loose in your house.
Yeah, I remember that.
We were sometimes really mean to your mom.
Donna Vance puts up with way too much shit, especially for me.
Or from me that time that I cussed her out at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah, you did do that.
Yeah, but Sherry Olmstead found a bunch of pictures of wieners that I drew and just left the dresser in her house. I drew like 100 pictures of dicks and just wrote a bunch of bad shit, and I was like, what are we going to do with all this? And you were just like, just put it in that little door there and I'll get rid of it later. Like, okay.
And I didn't.
And like 3 days later, I'm getting a call from your mom just like, I found a bunch of drawings you did. It's embarrassing. I'm like, I don't have like a dick obsession or anything.
Well, Superbad had just come out, and so we were doing that thing.
I feel like we were doing like chat roulette or something like that too.
We were playing Uno.
Uno on Xbox, and we were showing the
That's right, because people kept showing us their actual dicks on the webcam, and so we were showing them pictures of dicks. Oh my
I'm
gosh.
glad that the internet hasn't gotten any better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a maximum level of dicks all the time.
Do we have any other really good stories from that period?
Mm.
Probably.
Oh, we drove all the way to Tri-County so Tony could buy a duck call.
Yes, we did do that. Oh, that was when we put Tyler in the trunk.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Kevin was there for that.
We didn't have enough seats for everybody, so rather than taking 2 cars, we just put Tyler in the trunk. And then when we stopped to get gas, he got out and ran away.
I don't know. I feel like there was a lot of weird stuff that was going on then.
There was a lot of weird stuff.
Well, because I went to college then. It was like when I saw you guys, I came back for like break and stuff. So at that point. Oh, that's right. We used to talk about the breakup. I forgot about that. I have to get real. Damn.
Yeah, it wasn't all dick pics and fireworks.
No.
Wait.
It was for a while.
I was like, wait, dick pics? I was like, oh yeah, we literally drew pictures of dicks. I was like, wait.
And that's when Tyler knew he wanted to be a graphic designer.
That's right. Nope. It's because of the public education system that I was so indecisive about what I wanted to do with my life because I was forced to not choose until the exact moment when I had to choose that I became a graphic designer.
There you go. So, sometime in like January of 2008, or no, 2009, sorry, Tyler was over at my house, and we were online and we saw an ad for a show at the Mad Hatter, which we talk about on this podcast a lot. God rest its soul. The crappy God.
I'm glad that somebody said it. As soon as you said it, I thought about it. I was like, oh, rest in peace, Mad Hatter.
Um, and so we wanted to go to this show, but for some reason we thought, you know what, we don't want to take Tony to this show because Tony doesn't like going to shows. So we invited Sean and our friend Katie, and we were going to invite Kevin, but we weren't going to tell Tony what was happening.
You knew that I would have.
Right. Well, the night before the show, Sean accidentally told Tony because he didn't know that we were not telling him.
Mm.
And that
Maybe.
turned into a massive fight with basically everyone we know choosing sides.
Which was
Um, There was like real world bullying, there was cyberbullying, MySpace was still a thing.
yeah, I genuinely wish I had reacted a lot differently than the way that I did.
I mean, he kind
I
of
think
put you
that
in a
was-
bad spot though.
I think that was also the part where I gotten sick of Tony's shit because every weekend was just sitting at his house where we didn't do anything ever, and he just made out with his girlfriend.
Dude, it started to suck. He moved in that house in Mount Carmel, and I was friends with half of the people that lived upstairs.
Oh, that's right. That's
Yeah.
okay. I forgot about this. But
They
yeah.
would throw those parties and shit, and like Brian Davis and fucking my fiance used to hang out there. That's the first place I ever fucking met her when I was like 16, but we didn't know.
Whoa.
Yeah, but
And
we didn't go up there because we were the straight edge kids and we didn't
I
drink.
fucking wasn't, dude.
Right, but
They
in
did-
Tony's mind we were.
Tony called me that morning, and what was funny was I was hungover for the first time in my entire life. I got fucked up with Ethan Cursum after the basketball
Seriously?
game. I got drunk as fuck. And I remember I was going out with Aaron Zeiss back then, and she called me because I was texting her on some like just weirdly, and she like asked me what was going on, and I had to like basically lie and say that I hadn't gotten drunk because that would have not flown with Aaron Zeiss in 2009. And, dude, that was like pretty much the end of it, and that what's weird is that was like the end of my relationship with her pretty much because the only thing I had in common with Aaron was hanging out with you guys. And we dated for like another 6 months probably, and it was super fucking awkward.
I thought she came back from OU because she wanted to be closer to you.
Yeah, she did.
Okay.
It was not good. Like, her dad was really mad at her for it. He was really mad at me because he thought it was my fault. I was like, I have nothing to do with it. Like, I don't.
It's not
I
your
ended up working with her older brother for a while. He's actually a super cool dude.
Who, Jason?
No,
That's
that's
your
her
stepbrother.
brother, George.
Okay.
Real big dude. But, I remember she found out that I'd been, like, smoking weed. After I quit hanging out with you guys, I got really involved in the punk. Just all the shit that I could, just, like, drugs and whatever. Like, I didn't care anymore. And, which is weird, because, like, the 4th of July that we were just talking about was, like, the last big I'm just a kid weekend I ever had. Probably. After that, I was like 16, but I was trying so hard to be like a grown-up, just to be like a college kid, just to be like whoever else. But Aaron Zeiss in my driveway found out that I had been smoking weed pretty much all the time, and she, God love her, just wound up and just smacked me across the face. Only time Aaron Zeiss ever did anything like that in her entire life. She smacked me in the face. She was like, I can't fucking believe. She was yelling at me in my driveway, and I was just like, this is not the Aaron that I know. It was weird, and it didn't last a lot longer after that because I was involved in what I was doing, which was hanging out with like my weird punk friends and getting fucked up all the time.
Living
So-
the pop punk lifestyle, it's okay.
Yeah.
I never heard
What's
of it.
going on back there, Kevin?
Oh. Are you talking about the noise?
Yeah.
Yeah, my friends are downstairs, like, redoing a basement. I'm supposed to be helping them. That's actually what I
Oh, gotcha.
my day to do. And I was just like, I'm going to have to take a break for a while to help my friends with this podcast. They're like, all right.
Whatever.
Oh yeah. So, Sean, what was your side of this? Because I've actually never heard what happened after this big fight. I know we went to the show that we lied to Tony about.
After
Yeah.
that,
We all
I
went.
remember going to the show because it was so cold. It was so cold that night. It was like freezing cold, and I still had the Toyota then. God, I miss that car.
Paul.
Yeah. Oh, that was such a good car. I was running the other day, and I was thinking about how much I missed that car. After that, Tony and I would like talk every once in a while. And then it was spring. It was probably like halfway through the semester. Tony called me on the phone on like a Saturday morning, and he just like went off on me. It was so weird. Like he just texted me out of the blue, and he was like, "We need to talk, blah blah blah." And I was like, "Okay." So he called me, and yeah, and he was like, I know you had a thing for Caroline, and I don't, I know that you were trying to get with her all the time and trying to break us up, and you just can't control yourself, and you just want to get with any woman who I'm dating, and you don't respect me, and you're the whole reason why all my relationships break up, and I can't believe you. How can you do this to me? You knew this the whole time, and I don't know. It just like I tried honestly for a while, like talking to him to say like, no, that's not how it was. Like, don't worry. Like, I don't know how you thought, like, why you thought that or anything, and it was like talking to a wall. I think the last time that I talked to him was at Jenna's graduation party that next summer. He had came, and Casey told me that I should try and talk to him because he still wanted to be friends, and I think we went and played frisbee golf together, and that was it. Like that was the last time I had ever talked to him. So that's what I mean. That's why it struck me so weird, because I know that it was like what I've heard what he did to you, Kevin, is truly awful. That's why I feel like I kind of got spared in it. I was away at college, and I just got a phone call, and it was like done and done. But
fucking, he was like my big brother, man. Like, we always hung out, and then like the rift happened, and he basically like wanted me to not be friends anymore.
Right.
I just needed to hang out with Tony. And, like, he started getting weird because I started getting new friends anyway. And when you say what he did to me was truly awful, I think I forget about it because I stopped caring. Like,
well, that's what I mean. Like, it's hard for me to think about it too, because I think after he told me that, I pretty much just said like, well, if you're done, then I'm done too. I'm not gonna be treated like that.
I remember what happened. Me and Tony started spending a shitload of time together, and we were doing our thing like all the time. We would hang out. He would like come hang out at my parents' house, and we kick it. It was like probably like 4 or 5 more months after all that shit went down. And I guess Alexis stopped liking me. She didn't like me being around. She thought I was young and annoying, and she told Tony that he couldn't hang out with me. And he texted me and told me that he thought I was too young to hang out with, and that he really didn't want to see me around anymore, and that I should just leave him alone. And I was like, kind of heartbroken about it, because I didn't know what I did. Like, I was just like, dude, we hang out every fucking day. We've been hanging out for like 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
You're just bored of a friendship all of a sudden? I'm not like a girlfriend or some shit. If you want to go hang out with other people, then go do it. I stay friends. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, you don't have to break up with me. Like, we're just buddies. Dude, I remember being super pissed off at that guy about that.
Right.
I was like, dude, you're being a serious child about the fact that you're friends with somebody. I don't know. I haven't really talked to him ever since then. I see his little brother around every once in a while.
I give him discount to Chipotle.
His brother?
Yeah. I'm like, why not? Whatever, I know who he is. Come talk to me.
So what was your side of that, Tyler?
Basically the concert happened, and I don't think I actually ever really directly confronted Tony, and I don't think he ever really directly confronted me, other than, like, the moment that it happened. And I was like, okay, whatever. You know, I was pretty, like, over his shit anyway. And that was kind of, like, what I wanted to have happen. So I was really kind of, like, not, like, being, like, manipulative, but I kind of ended up just getting what I wanted out of the situation regardless, because I knew what he was doing was bullshit. He was just, like, forcing us to, like, hang out and then we weren't doing anything, and I was like, and he was, like, making me choose over other friends. You know, I had, like, 3 other friend groups I was just, like, ignoring. I was like, well, maybe I should hang out with those people, and it was just kind of like...
Yeah, no, I felt like at that time you were, like, that summer, You were hanging out with Austin a lot,
Yeah.
Jacqueline and Katie
Right.
and everybody.
And at the time, Tony was numero uno. He was number one for a long time. It was probably Sean and then me. That was the ascension of friends, and then it was pretty much everybody else. It's really set up like in MySpace because it was the girlfriend, then it was Sean, then it was me, and it was basically like that reverse for them and then reverse for me. It's like. Then
Yeah,
everyone else
words
just kind of
can't
was like,
describe how important the MySpace top 8 was
yeah.
at this time.
Ugh.
There was a lot of
got-
planning that went into those things.
And there was movement. And when stuff moved, like I distinctly remember when people shifted in positions, and that was a big deal.
Mhm.
So
Well, the idea of ranking your friends was just such a horrible idea.
Stupid, dude.
Yeah.
This seems like it won't cause any social problems. Let's go ahead and make it a thing on our website.
So, for me, because it was my idea to lie to Tony, I took a lot of the fall for the initial problem. And there was about 6 months there where he was ripping into me at every opportunity he could. Online, in person, with mutual friends. And it was pretty bad there for a while. And it got to a point where I just didn't really want to be around any of the people that I knew, except for Katie and Tyler, because Sean was away at college, and Kevin was hanging out with Tony at the time.
Kind of,
And
dude.
right, we
Like-
know.
Kind of, yeah. And so I kind of walked away from my job at Kings Island to work at summer camp because I figured if I'm going to walk away from all my friends, I might as well move out into the woods. And that ended up being a really great thing, and I met a lot of really cool people, but I never would have done that had we not gotten that huge fight.
Having a Henry David Thoreau moment.
Yeah.
Taylor
And then
went
by
into
the
the
time I
woods.
got right, and by the time I got back that August, like everything had calmed down. Nobody was talking to Tony anymore. Kevin was doing post-secondary, so he wasn't around a whole lot, but I mean, we were cool. I don't know, I think we all just kind of needed that summer to like break apart, but then we broke apart for a lot longer than I anticipated.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. It feels
Because
so
we all
weird.
probably
It feels so
haven't been
weird
in the
reflecting
same
on it
room
now
for-
because it was like Tony was kind of like the linchpin, but it's not to say that like everything else didn't flower. He was just kind of the linchpin that held it all together.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Well, and have we all been in the same room since then?
I think the last time that all of us were together was probably the night that we did that video, and it was Tyler and I making fun of each other. I think that was probably like one of the last times.
Was that after that?
Fun of each other. You were making fun of each other's ex-girlfriends.
Oh, and we said something. I said
No,
some
we
things
said
I'm
we
not
both
proud
said
of.
bad things.
Yeah, I would say we would link to it in the show notes, but
Don't
nobody
want to
needs
see
to
it.
see
No.
that video.
Nobody wants to see that.
There was
Needless to say,
things
my
that were said that were bad and shouldn't have been said, and it was
my conservative views have been shed at this point in my life. So I'm sorry to Sean's brother.
Yeah, there was.
The thing I said in that video, I was like, you say that like it's a bad thing.
Right. I had no idea.
So, yeah,
That was also like the weird moment where everyone thought they could do graffiti.
yeah, everyone.
None of us could do graffiti except Sean. Let's be real.
It's real. No one can do graffiti.
Let's be real. No one can do graffiti.
Because it's illegal, and we would never condone doing that.
That's right, Kevin.
I'll condone illegal shit.
Don't do it.
I'll
That's
condone most illegal shit. Do whatever you want, man.
Kevin Vance is going to be our new consultant on what we will deem as illegal shit.
What is freedom? What is legitimacy? Let's talk.
our
See,
legal
Sean, you didn't need to get a
representative.
master's degree. You should have just moved to Clifton.
That's a
I've done a lot of drugs. No
More.
problem. What's the difference?
exactly. Especially where I got it from. Right? No, exactly. It's just we're all just pit stains in the pit. That's all that we are. We're just bad T-shirts with pit stains.
It stains in the wind. Is that what we are?
Oh, you always pits in the wind.
All right, guys. I'm probably gonna get off here.
Right.
Okay.
Well, it was cool having you, man. Thanks for coming on.
What I did want to say regarding Tony is, for people that don't know him, he got engaged 3 times during the 3 years that I knew him, to 3 different girls, and he definitely loved all 3 of them. Like, he really did. Tony was full of love as far as it came. When it came to girls, like, if a girl really liked Tony, he really, really liked her. And all the bullshit that happened, everything aside, like, Tony, at his point in life, from what I've seen, like, he finally got what he wanted. Like, he's married, he has 2 kids, and, like, he's really involved in it, and he seems really happy.
Right.
Despite all the shit that happened, like, I'm kind of glad, because all that stuff going down definitely turned me into the person that I am now. Like, the year transformation after that had a huge influence. I was 17, and now I'm 22, and it's been a complete 360-degree turn. You know, I'm facing the same way, but I'm nothing like I used to be. And it has a lot to do with that year of my life. And I don't know, I think everybody kind of came out on top in their own weird way.
In the way that only we could.
I think there's some truth to that, Kevin. I think there's a lot of truth to that.
So, I don't know, that was just like my piece with it, with Tony, and if he ever saw this or heard any of the things we said, I hope he knows that it's all true, and that despite that, I love him, and I hope he's having a good time with all the bullshit that he's dealing with, because it's probably rough being a dad. It was really good talking to you guys.
Yeah.
Next
Yeah, man,
time,
come back on anytime.
we should hang out in Tyler. I feel like we probably live 20 minutes away from each other, so
That's right.
I actually would like to come see you. Which Chipotle do you work at?
Beachmont.
I'm like 6 minutes away from there right now. I spend most of my time on Pamela Road, like across the street from Target.
Huh.
Yeah, so I don't know. Maybe I should just start eating at that Chipotle a little more.
Wait, why are you there?
Well, it's my girlfriend's mom lives out here, and
Oh, gotcha.
I hang out with her a lot. She has like panic attacks when she's in Clifton because I don't know, she's a pussy.
Your girlfriend or your girlfriend's mom? Your fiance, sorry.
My fiance, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
Well, that's okay.
Her
You
sister and mother-in-law live across the street, so that's actually where I am right now. I just hang out with them. I'm super.
Oh. Well, I'm there basically 4 till 11:30 every single day, so.
I'll come see you soon then, man. Are you gonna be there today?
No.
Tomorrow? Are you off tomorrow?
I'm off tomorrow. I work Tuesday to Friday.
Tuesday to Friday?
Yep.
I'll come see you, bro.
Cool. I'll hook you up.
I love
Kiss. Bye-bye.
Okay.
Good seeing you, man.
Good to see you, buddy.
Heart.
Okay, so I think what Kevin just did, I want to take a moment and do that too, just in case. I don't know. I feel like this is like what he said is true. There's
There's been a lot of negativity towards a lot of people on these episodes. So go ahead and make your peace.
I mean, I don't know. I kind of feel jaded about what happened because what he said to me was like pretty awful. I know that what he did to you was intolerable, and for that, like, no forgiveness for that. Like, let the memory live on. But that said, I hope that he's happy. I don't wish any ill will on him. I'm gonna pull out my elephant card here and say that I won't forget that. So.
Yeah, I think my reaction is pretty similar. I've told people this story a few times now, and every time I tell it, I realize different things. And I think what Kevin said is really true. Like, that next year of my life really made me who I am now. Because if we hadn't broken up what we had going on then, we would all still be hanging out in Tyler's basement. And we're too old for that shit. So I'm happy that we're all where we are now. Tony's got a family. Kevin's got a good job and a fiance. We've got a podcast. No, in all seriousness, though, I'm happy
Living
with
it
how
up.
everything turned out. I hope Tony's well. I probably won't ever talk to him again, but that happens with people you went to high school with,
Mm-hmm.
and that's very normal.
Yeah. Anything, Tyler?
I mean, as someone that really like frequently looks back at his past and like has like an existential crisis and like really like digs into myself, being like super critical. I mean, breaking up with Tony was probably one of the best things I ever did for my life, and I don't really look back on it with any regret whatsoever. But I mean, I relish the fact that it happened. I enjoy that, like, while like the times were good, I enjoyed my time with spending time with Tony. Like, I don't like regret doing those things.
Right.
I don't regret anything that happened. I just, you know, it happened, and I'm okay with it. I don't like want him to die. I don't want anything bad to happen to him. We just stopped being friends. I've stopped being friends with a lot of people for different reasons, and it's just another thing that happened. So,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, I agree with you, Tyler. I don't like regret anything. I think I actually learned how to be a really good friend with him.
Yeah, I think I really learned what it meant to have friends that weren't just your friends because you were around them all the time. Like we talked about at the beginning of the first part. Kevin and I were initially friends because our parents just kind of stuck us together a lot. But we went through hell in high school, and it made us really close. And like that's the reason that I'm still close with you guys and why I approached you to do this show. It's not just because we all live in the same town anymore. We don't, but we happen to have a lot in common.
Tyler and I really haven't just meet on circumstance, though. Like, it really was just circumstance. So, I don't know. It's kind of neat how destiny works out like that.
oh, destiny, Sean. I didn't think you believed in that.
Yeah, whatever. I don't know.
That's it. That's.
And so
I guess we should show how we got to, we still have like 15 minutes, so we should
I was
talk
going to say,
about
with 15 minutes left in the origin story, we should talk about how we got to where we are right now.
Right. We should talk about how we got to the show.
Right.
So, if you don't mind, I'll go first.
But considering it's
Shut
your
up,
idea.
Taylor.
Yeah, fuck you. So I came back from camp, and I got involved with a different marching band because while I was gone in the wilderness, our two high school band split into two separate single high school marching bands, and I went to the smaller one where I met some different people and had a good time and was part of the leadership, and it was good. And I met Drew Jeschke, who was initially a panelist on this show and good friend of the show now. He helps us out with stickers and online promotion and stuff like that. And when I went to college, I made some friends that went to Brunch a lot, and we had always talked about starting a podcast, but after graduation, they all left, and so I thought, who better to start a podcast with than the two guys that I grew up with? So I Facebooked both of you, and you wanted to do it. That's my side of it.
I just wanted to design stuff. I was like, let's just fucking do it. That's actually how it really happened. I was like, Taylor, just fucking do it. Instead of like waiting for like, because I believe one of your friends was like, you're like waiting for him to get back with you about it. I'm like, let's just do it. Who cares? Who cares what the panel is? Let's just do it. You're like, what? Wait, hold on. I haven't talked to Sean in like 5 years. Let's have him do it. What's he doing? Done.
Well, I guess how I initially found out about the show was like moving to OU again for grad school. I had come down and I knew Taylor was going there because I had come down a couple times. My brother had gone to the school before. We would hang out all the time because once again, moving to OU, I had like no friends besides my brother. I kind of lived in his shadow for a while. with the exception of like Taylor, and we would just go for like long random strolls around Athens and try and find drunk girls that wanted us to get insects that were the size of our faces. Like that big ass spider that was at that church, she just wanted us to get for her so bad, and I was just not going to touch that big ass spider.
Giving chicken and waffles to drunk girls on the street.
Yeah.
A lot of that first year of grad school for you was the two of us accosting drunk girls.
Yeah, just it wasn't us accosting; it was them accosting us.
Yeah,
It was
that's
like, oh my
probably
god,
why.
that sandwich looks so good. Can I have it? And then I was like, here, you can have it. And she was like, do you want it back? And I was like, no. No, I don't want that back. It was good. That was what I needed. I just needed a taste of it.
Those are good
Yeah, there's a lot of
sandwiches,
drunk
by the
people at OU. But
way. Spoiler alert.
I don't know. I think that Taylor and I have always had a kind of like pop cultural reference relationship since I was at grad school. We would always get together and talk about what was going on in the media and stuff like that, and different topics. And
Or get
Out of the
together,
woods.
drink some Crown Royal and watch Batman.
right, exactly. Or like go get drunk in the woods or something and hike. You know, it's just good times.
Did that ever happen?
Yeah,
Yeah.
hell yeah.
It was
Drunk
great.
hiking? That sounds like a horribly irresponsible idea.
No. That is a horribly great idea.
Yeah, come down here sometime. We'll go drunk hiking.
You hike somewhere,
I'll
then
be
you
the
find a
TD,
beautiful
okay?
view,
Let's do
and then
that.
you don't get like blackout drunk. But,
Okay, alright, okay.
No. But you just walk around the woods and have a good time and have some good laughs. That's outside drinking is the best drinking as far as I'm concerned.
Mhm.
So basically, I don't know. I was like really in not a good place when this podcast started because I was like so down. I had just finally landed a job after like 8 months of complete unemployment and income insecurity hardcore. So,
On top of crippling debt, obviously.
right. So yeah, I don't know. This got me at a good place because I feel like too, I was kind of bored. I wasn't really doing much besides applying for jobs like a madman all the time, just being alone a lot. And so I was excited when I got invited to the show. I like jumped on it. I miss writing a lot for graduate school, so that's why I've been really focusing on writing for the show now. So a lot of good things that this show has done for me. I can say that for sure.
Yeah, there are a couple unaired episodes of this that should probably never see the light of day. But by my count, we've done 33 episodes of this show so far, even though 29 have been released. Does that sound about right?
What are the three that you're talking about?
I know there was some that you did with like Tyler and
There's one that's just
Wow.
me, Tyler, and Drew. And
Okay.
then there are a couple where it's all four of us before we started posting them.
those aren't up.
No,
Oh, okay.
they're rough. They're really
Okay.
rough.
Yeah, I know we did those for a while, but
But we've been doing this for almost a year now. It'll be a year in, I think, February. So, we're at about 3/4 of a year. And it feels weird when we don't have a show.
yeah.
Like, I don't
Oh, it
know
does.
what to do with my week when I don't have this going on.
You don't have to rush to find a topic that's not about fast food.
Thursday night, it's like submit. We do.
I've done a few Friday morning
My
submissions.
fault, we run it like a graduate seminar because I'm just like everybody submit their topic and then we'll all talk about it.
Well, it's funny. I was having drinks with a friend of the show, Daniel Spencer, and he was talking about one of his graduate seminars and stuff they were talking about. And they were talking about, like, the aesthetics of taste. And I was like, oh, really? Because we talk about the aesthetics of taste on our podcast, which is basically a graduate seminar, but with more cursing.
Yeah, pretty much what you're doing is essentially all pretty much what grad school is. It's not very different, with the exception that you actually get credit for it and you pay a lot of money to do it.
That's right.
I'd rather pay $15 a month to do it with you guys than $100,000 to do it with a bunch of strangers.
That's what I'm doing right now. Yay! I'm getting my master's right now.
Are you actually?
No.
Oh, you
That's
mean by
that's.
doing
He's
show.
doing
Right.
DeVry. He's doing DeVry online.
Masters in
I
Life.
would seriously reconsider going back to school again, but that's okay.
So this is the end of season 3 of Dudes Brunch, episode 29. Did you guys expect us to do 29 of these?
Sure.
I was just going until we burn out. I'm here
Right.
until literally like the wheels fall off this thing, and then we're dehydrated and we die on the side of the road.
That's okay, because we got another show lined up.
Yeah,
So-
exactly. Like my self-infliction is it's so great that I actually want to do a second one. I agreed to do something that I never do.
Right.
Anything. So check that out. Be out soon. Not the
Which is, of course, Sean doesn't play video games.
Shameless plugs.
Right.
Actually, as we're recording this, you haven't even started Sean Doesn't Play Video Games. But when this
Right.
comes out, there will be 2 episodes of Sean Doesn't Play Video Games available for people to watch or listen to.
Super Meat Boy and who knows?
We don't. You do, because
Right.
the magic of internet time travel.
Right.
Um,
But
Look
that's right.
forward to
Well, technically, we're doing the pilot of Steam. We're doing this pilot, and we're gonna talk about Steam tonight, which is 2 weeks.
will that go public?
Yeah, we might as well. We might as well do it live. There's the other Hearthstone stream that I did that was very poorly done.
Yeah,
That didn't actually work. That I'm gonna delete soon.
So do you have any shameless plugs for 2 weeks in the future, Tyler?
Not really. Just follow me on my website, tylerdreed.com. TDR Design on Twitter. Sean doesn't play on Twitter as well. That's really about it. You know, I should hopefully have some more works going up on my website. I'm gonna start uploading my stupid designs that I've done for my freelance gigs of Spuds McKenzie wearing a toga, and Leonardo DiCaprio from Wolf on Wall Street being surrounded by creepy-looking people, a bear, panda bear, and a tiger. So,
Professional graphic designer, ladies and gentlemen.
that's right.
Sean, any shameless plugs from you?
Since we have this 2 week, I don't want to ruin what I'm gonna do tonight, but yeah, check me out. I'm probably gonna do a lot more writing in between now and then, so look out for that. I feel I've been really inspired lately about what I want to write about. I've been watching and reading a bunch of really interesting things that have been like sparking crazy madman ideas in my head.
Such as preview.
Well, actually, I was talking to one of my coworkers last night. I was telling her about the paper that I wrote about Andy Warhol and the politics of emotions, and she said, you should publish that. That would be really cool. So I'm going to try and work on that. Do something that's like kind of off the wall, really, really synthetic and not that great. But I'll put it up maybe in some like distilled version because it was really, really, really long. But I think that this would be a cool podcast for that. That said, I'm gonna work on that. Check out my Tumblr. I'll be updating that a lot more probably. My Meerkat's back up. I'm doing that a lot now again. So check out my driving. I don't want to I don't know. This is kind of early for this, but I want to thank all the guests that have been on here so far. That made, I mean, with the exception of Janet, because who knows how that's gonna go.
Well,
Don't follow me on Snapchat, blah blah blah. So when we, I'm gonna regret saying that when we watch this in 2 weeks and it comes out. But it's been great. This season has been really cool. Honestly, when Taylor said we were gonna have guests all the time, I was kind of skeptical. I was like, I don't know. I really like how this podcast is working out, but I think it's been super nice. I've been really happy with all the guests that have been coming and talking to us. And Tyler, you look skeptical. Why do you look skeptical?
No, I'm fine. I was taking this opportunity to Snapchat. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
Because I've always remembered Snapchat on this podcast.
Tyler sends me Snapchats while I'm talking on the show, and I get distracted. It's so awful.
So I don't know. I just want to thank everybody who came to the show because it's been great. You all have been like, if you watch this or listen to this, you all have been such a great time to be here. It's been fantastic, and I'm just grateful that all of you could share your time with us.
That's right. Whoever you are, thousands of people that have downloaded our podcast but haven't spoken up about it. Come, speak with us, commune. Let us communicate. Whoever you are out there in the cyberverse.
So shameless plugs from me. Echoing Sean's statements, thank you so much to all of our guests, our viewers, our regular live viewers. Just so much support. I really did not expect people to care about this podcast when I started doing it. And it's been great. It's been a lot of fun. Along with that, I do have something to ask of all of you. In the description of this episode when it goes out, there's going to be a survey. We did a survey after the first 10 episodes, and I want to do one now because I want to make sure that we keep doing a show that you all want to watch. And so this isn't about advertisers and like how we can make money. This is purely about how the show is made and how it's delivered, and I want to make sure that it's something that you all actually enjoy spending an hour on each week. So please fill out the survey. It makes a big difference to us. If you want to help us pay for the show, because it does cost a little bit of money, buy a Dude's Brunch t-shirt or some stickers. We have stickers now. They're like $4. They're not that expensive, but
Stick them on your friends. Stick them on your notebooks. Give them to your own children. Let them use them as Band-Aids.
That sounds like a bad idea.
Attach your bumper to your car with them.
Yeah, there you go. But they're on there. You know, if you just want to give us a little bit of daps, a pack of stickers would be totally acceptable. Special thanks to the people at Wicked Radio Network, who we are now a part of an actual podcast network, starting with episode 27 onward. So thanks to them for including us. They've been very great with that whole process. And thanks to the community over on r/podcasts, who's always really good about listening to the show, commenting about it on Reddit. We get more traffic to our website from Reddit than anywhere else. So if you're listening to this because you found us on Reddit, thanks for that. If you were a guest on this show because you found us on Reddit, thanks for that. Keep hanging out. We're over there. I'm over there, at least. I don't know if the other two are. And that's it. Thanks, and I guess we'll be back at some point in October with more podcast. I don't actually know when we're going to start again.
We'll be back.
We'll be back.
We'll be back.
Never makes an episode again.
Famous last words. We'll be back in October.
Until sometime in October, we'll see you on the interwebs, I guess.
Chipotle. Hold on, we gotta do all the bingo boards. We gotta give a win.
Futurama, Taylor, I hate you. You're dumb. Sean doesn't
Sean,
play.
you went to grad school, didn't you?
Right.
Coffee, am I right?
Remember that time that Bender did that thing when the stuff with the things?
Oh, you know what I really hate? Hawthorne Heights.
Right. Our hearts are always in Ohio.
Couchy Chesta, am I right?
Hot dinner.
I give Miley and her dead pets a strong 3 out of 5, or a 3 out of 10.
I had black coffee today. That's it. That's all I ever have. Enemas of black coffee.
I think that's it. Arby's, no list Arby's. Okay, I think we're good.
Put your crisis in your mouth.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Kiss, kiss.